Alright guys, this is a very exciting video for me. Obviously I think we've all heard of the news of Ronaldo coming back to Manchester United, but I do want to start it off with PSG. So Messi actually made his debut today, and well, let's just say he's not in the rhythm of the game. He's definitely going to have to get used to playing alongside new teammates. You could tell he was a little nervous, but I mean, it's understandable. It's the first time he's been in a new team and who knows how many years it's been. But regardless, this team is going to be amazing. It was a little weird seeing him be subbed on for Neymar. I think a lot of people did want to see that Mbappe-Neymar trio, but it just didn't happen. Mbappe scored a double, giving PSG the lead. PSG still looks a little like they need a couple more things before they're really Champions League contenders. I know that's what the main thing that they're going for. Obviously the league, they want to win that as well, considering the fact that they didn't win it last season, but their main objective is the Champions League, and it's only a matter of time before Messi gets in form and really starts delivering for them. But now onto the Manchester United news. Man, I was so devastated at just the thought of Ronaldo playing for Manchester City. But now that he's come back to Old Trafford, it's really just a beautiful story in general. I know there's a lot of kids out there that, in Manchester specifically, that they never really got to see Ronaldo. They might have grew up at the point where he had just left and seen him do what he did for Real Madrid, but they would hear stories of Ronaldo playing in the Prem, tearing up the Prem. Whether it was going up against Arsenal or going up against Man City or going up against Chelsea, other Premier League games that Ronaldo was involved in that he dominated as well. Seeing Ronaldo back in England is just special in so many ways, and I know this is going to give a huge boost of confidence to the players. I know there's going to be some that are left out, and I think it's going to be interesting because I don't think Ronaldo is going to be able to use the number 7 since it's already been registered for Cavani, and Cavani playing as well today. We'll see what number he chooses or what number he gets, but I'm thinking it's going to be number 28 just because it's the other number associated with him. And it'll be cool. Messi will be with the number 30 and Ronaldo would be with the number 28. United as well getting a win today against Watford. Greenwood again back on the scoring sheet in a great form currently. One of United's most exciting players. I'm definitely a huge fan. I personally want him to carry on that number 7 later on in his career, especially if he chooses to stay at United. Now, another big game in the Premier League was Liverpool going up against Chelsea. I personally thought this was going to be a great game, full of action, a lot of back and forth, and to an extent it was, but it was also kind of dull. I think it's just the fact that it's still early in the season. Some players need a little bit of rhythm, some players are a little tired, and it just wasn't a match that lived up to the expectations. But Liverpool are still in it, still a solid team. Chelsea, of course, are still in it, still a solid team. Very early in the season. We'll see how they do later on. A team that absolutely dominated and didn't need any more games to warm up and get into rhythm was Manchester City. Obviously, they've been looking for a striker. They were looking into getting Harry Kane. It doesn't look like that's going to turn out. They were, obviously being linked to Ronaldo. That didn't work out. And now it's just, can they play without a striker? I've heard many people say that you can't really do that in the Prem. I think Guardiola and Man City disagree. But, I mean, what they did to Arsenal was just like making fun of Arsenal. It's not fun anymore. Like, it really isn't. It's just so much that they need to work on. And on paper, they seem like a decent team. On paper, you wouldn't expect them to get a 5-0 beating by Man City. You wouldn't expect that from them. Honestly, Arsenal at this point, they need to get rid of Arteta. They need a new manager in for sure. At this point, I don't know what signings they can make. I don't know what kind of players they can even attract. I know I spoke about them getting Odegaard, but I think that was just Odegaard's personal choosing more than Arsenal drawing him in. 5-0 beating by Man City. City with 80% of possession. Arsenal had 1 shot the whole game. Absolutely embarrassing. Manchester City had 25 shots throughout the game. 92% pass accuracy versus 68 for Arsenal. Just absolutely dominating Arsenal. Arsenal just they're definitely not going to be challenging for anything this year. They're definitely not going to be challenging at all for for anything, honestly. Now, really quick over in Serie A, Juve lost to Empoli. A lot of people were saying that, you know, Ronaldo brought them down. Ronaldo wasn't the right fit. He was more of a problem than help. And honestly, Juventus is not that good of a team. They were a good team. They were stacked before. They had solid players all around, whether it was when they had Pirlo, Vidal, Pogba. They had Tevez up top, or Morata up top, or Higuain up top. They're not a solid team anymore. I mean, Dybala never really fulfilled all that hype that was given to him. And they lost 1-0. Now another team in Italy, AC Milan, surprisingly very well against Cagliari. Giroud got a double, unexpected. You know, the Italian league is a lot more difficult to score in than a lot of people give it credit to, and it just shows how Giroud is guaranteed goals. You know, personally, I don't think he's that great of a player. I don't think he's amazing in any way, but you know, when you're performing, when you're giving out results, that you can't take anything away from that. And I'm happy for Giroud, happy for AC Milan doing well, and I saw Tonali got on the score sheet, a very good, promising player that I hope has a more prominent role in that team. And so far, so good for AC Milan. Now, over in Spain, it really does seem like Memphis Depay is just unfazed at all by any kind of pressure that might have came with moving to Barca. Especially once Messi left, it kind of seemed like, well, you know, whatever happens to Barca happens, I guess. But Depay really is showing that he is the guy that will guarantee you goals and would guarantee you great performances. He's been on a great run, scoring again. And like I said, he seems unfazed. There's no pressure on him. He doesn't seem nervous at all. And I think it'll serve him well. And, you know, who knows? Maybe down the line, Barcelona ends up winning the league. And I wouldn't be surprised if Depay ends up with 20 league goals plus. And I think they'll be judged a little harshly based on their performances on the Champions League. But you know, when you're a big club, that's what happens. And Depay is a big player, and it looks like he'll be providing goals, and he'll be providing great performances for them. Now on to Real Madrid. A very good game against Betis, very intense game. Benzema just proving what a great player he is, man. I love Benzema. You know, if he's not scoring, he's providing an assist, and that's what he ended up doing that day. Beautiful control of the play outside of the box on one of the sides, and simply just looks up, finds Carvajal making a run in, places the ball beautifully to his feet. A little awkward volley from Carvajal, but it ends up in the back of the net, and that's all Real Madrid need. Real Madrid end up winning 1-0. Real Madrid look good in the league. They still need a couple pieces here and there. Really seems that without Kroos and Modric, that midfield just isn't what it should be for a team like Real Madrid. I don't know if it's Fede not really getting used to Ancelotti's style. I don't know if it's Ancelotti looking how to use different players. We'll see what ends up happening later on in the season. We'll see how Ancelotti switches up his tactics. We'll see if Ancelotti gets a couple players here and there. So far, so good. Looks like the top three teams in La Liga are still Atletico, Real, and Barca. And the season will be interesting. Definitely waiting to see if there's any transfers from Real Madrid. If they do get Mbappe, you know, they might look a little bit more dangerous, especially in the Champions League. But at this point, I don't think Mbappe is the missing piece for Real Madrid. But so far, all the top three teams doing well. So, okay, guys, thank you guys again for watching. This has been another Football Roundup. It's been your boy Jay-Z. I'll see you guys next week on the next Football Roundup.